And now the last event of this training school. Sure, you are here for this moment about Lego. So, this time it's to try to know how it's possible to use a serious game to build a socio-technical system. And it's a case of breeding management for new trait of resilience, efficiency in small ruminant. And so, resilience, efficient trait impact on system performances and change farmer selection choice. I said this before. The question is, what is the socio-technical approach? So, Arkich explains that operative description of technical object, that it's to say one that allows for a more complete formulation of the test or experiments to which it will be useful to subject to device at such and such a moment in its development. And link to this first point, a final identification of the types of spokespersons that it would be judicious to consult, test, mobilize, or involve. Another way to explain which are a socio-technical approach is to imagine a workers and different socio-technical work system, social organizational context, and external environment. And the workers works in a physical environment, perform tasks, work under organization condition, and use tools and technologies. And you can imagine, for example, colleagues from Belgium use this socio-technical approach to explain the production of specific meat beef production with Blanc Bleu Belge. Do you know Blanc Bleu Belge? It's very special breed with a very large muscular development, and for that it's a specific socio-technical system. That means to have a calf, it's necessary to have cesarean, okay, for the cow. The genetic is special. That means you are veterinary, genetician, and the production of meat are very specific product that need a specific cutting of the carcasses of animals. That means butchers are very specific knowledge and technical. And there are specific consumers who want to eat this sort of meat, very sweet, without fat and very tenderness. Okay? This system, it's completely lock with different locking. That means if it's impossible to have cesarean with veterinary because we have a welfare dimension, welfare issue. People can think it's not good to have a cesarean to the birth of calves. It's impossible to have this type of product. That means the butchers can cut this specific type of meat, etc., etc. And this locking is characteristic of the social technical approach. So it's based on participatory approach because with current challenges and drastic change, for example, in livestock farming system, it's necessary to change. That means, for example, the agroecological transition and smarter project is included in the agroecological transition in genetic aspect. It's a complex process and undefined path. So, to achieve such changes, it's necessary to involve farmers in co-design, innovation, and encouraging their adoption. These participatory approach are very relevant to analyze socio-ecological systems or socio-technical systems. And now, why use serious game? Serious game is a powerful tool to encourage the redesign of livestock system while promoting collective intelligence, your collective intelligence, if used together with farmers or other stakeholders or students, etc., etc. And serious games are game design and or used for non-entertainment proposed and body learning goals. This type of serious game are very, very developed in my research unit with different type of game, cards games, games with different type of game with jeu de plateau, I don't know in English the name, and a specific of a serious game, the Lego maquette. Using Lego serious game to rethink agricultural management process involve players from the agricultural and other sectors at different levels, and the theory under this work is a constructivism. That means it's to think how it's possible to build a new approach and redesigning of the socio-technical dimensions. And it's hand-to-brain links. And we have a paper in EAP in 2021 with my colleague Julie Richavy, and we experiment different serious games. And Lego was used for the designing of new organization in a territory between farmers and crop producers to exchange forages, manure, etc. And I work with Lego for farmers and advisors about self-sufficiency in dairy sheep production. And I propose you today to designing the question of new traits and the social-technical system necessary to build a new trait using in a genetic for small ruminant. This work is based with successive steps. We'll go organize the room with the table and to put Lego with two groups. We are two numbers, and it's necessary to share in two groups. And you put Lego in the middle of the table and building alone and share with your neighbors. And after second tape, you build with your neighbors and share together, etc., etc. And finally, we build together for the 10 people, I think you are 10 for each group, to share main features of your organization, socio-technical organization based on new traits for efficiency and resilience. I propose two groups. One group about milk sheep production based on meadow grazing, and another situation with meat sheep production, more extensive to produce meat sheep production in native grassland. Okay? It's my suggestion. If you prefer another type of example, why not? But and the question is, which resilience and efficiency traits could be used and how to build the socio-technical systems? That means that it's necessary to think if, for example, we want to increase the milk production, it's necessary to change the type of animals. If you want to decrease the milk production to win better robustness of animals, probably the price of the milk must be increased for the economics aspect for the farmers, yeah? To maintain the income, for example. You must to think about this. So at the beginning it could be a bit difficult, but you must to just explain the thing in your mind, and you try to use Lego to explain something in your mind. Yeah? And so serious games are very original media designing agricultural innovation. And what is the contribution of stakeholders' engagement? How to mobilize agronomic, socio-technical models, and which are the new role of researchers in this type of approach. Okay? So now you are playing. So for that, it's okay to organize the room with 3 tables like this, to change the orientation and to put 10 people around. You are, I think, 18, and we have the 2 Ricardi playing. And so 2 groups with 10 people. Your first work and explain which are these and which are the more important things about your system. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was.
That's clean.
Yeah. Like this is like the.
So, but now it's understood without clean.
It's not good.
It's sad. Also go to the market.
Yes, to be happy.
Okay, come on, everybody. Now it's a great moment for the fine presentation of your socio-technical system about the meat production with goat and sheep, maybe, or N2.
It's goats.
Okay, yeah.
This is just a representative of prolificacy.
Okay, it's you.
So we have in this side of the system, we have the real farm. So we have goats, meat goats, and one of the most important traits, however, are the growth rate, the growth, total growth of the goats, as well as feed efficiency. And so we need researchers and technicians that genotypes animals and give suggestion to the farmer to how genetically select the goats. So we have this part with the professor. And other traits that are important are the resistant to parasite and health in general. So we have a very strong link with the veterinary system. And also the, what was this?
Methane emissions.
The methane emissions. So we want to reduce the methane emissions, and for this reason we also have a connection with algae producers. And this is the representation of the global warming that we want to stop. And it's very important also to have a good quality of crops and water. So we have this electric tractor, yes, and the control of the parasites of the crop, but with natural products. And then we also have the precision livestock farming that, together with the research and the selection, can help in other 2 traits that are the prolificacy and also the growth rate of the kids. This is the prolificacy. And we also can check the quality of milk, even if it's not important for meat itself, but for the growth of the kids. And for increasing the market of our meat production, we have both agritourism and so we have, for example, the wolves that helps in terms of the production of outside. Okay, you can explain it better. And but we also have dogs and that watch for the animals of the farms and fences. So systems to have wolves, but outside the farm. And especially the advertising of the products with chefs, the connection with chefs and restaurant and local butchers. And this is the plan B if it doesn't work, so living under the bridge. If everything fails. And this is our project.
Wow. Some question about this magnific system based on quality of meat production. I have a question. Do you explain something about parasitism?
Parasitism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we want a strong connection with a veterinary that can
Okay.
advise the
For those.
farmers to have the best control of parasite outside, for example, in the crops, but also to use drugs only where strictly necessary and use other methods to avoid the infections or vaccines, for example, instead of antibiotics and so on.
Okay. Some question or remarks, Rachel?
Nothing special, I'm impressed. Because it's not only centered on the production, but you have seen something very
Yes.
global, incorporating society and other outputs.
Social-technical system.
Yes. Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we move to the other group.
Okay, so this represents time. So at the beginning, we are in the past. So this sheep was limited knowledge and capacity, very small. And then we enter the present by this small door. And in the present, we have different requirements that need balance. This is a balance. So the first requirement is the production with the udder. You can see it. So we want to increase the production. So we have a new skill. Then we also want to improve health and welfare of livestock. So we add a new skill. And then we also want to improve the farmer welfare. This is represented by two people playing with a dog in a park. So we had a third skill. And finally, we have the requirement of the society, which is represented by the eyes, looking at the livestock and farming, and also by the wheelchair, we represent the strikes for retirement. So there is the society is under many pressure and can collapse at any time, but it will not happen because we have another skill, and with this all the skills of the goat.
And the idea is that at the end we are gonna have a sheep that attends all this pressure or this demand from the market, and it can, for example, be a very good representation of this, the increase of milk production over time, but without we have alerts of health, for example, the increase of milk somatic cell counts and consequently increased cases of mastitis that consequently leads to more intervention, increase of use of antibiotics, that is pressure that comes also from the market, from the society. So we need to have a new trait that is this decreasing milk somatic cell counts that consequently is gonna end in a production of a milk that can be delivered to the market with all the combination of these traits, and consequently helping to keep all this wheel of pressure and demands keeping rolling, and at the end we have a better sheep. And I think that this is the main idea.
This was also animated. Have you noticed animated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Respect to the others.
It's my remark is the first time I saw a dynamic representation with the Lego. Fantastic. Thank you very much. A few questions about this system for someone. How you combine the different traits in your ship?
Optimization through modeling.
Or development of selection indexes, for example, is also possible to combine milk production with decrease of somatic cell counts, also robustness, feed efficiency.
Okay, so very interesting the dynamics playing during the presentation and during the time, past, present, and future. Okay, thank you very much. Question? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So it was a time for playing Lego to understand it's interesting to use this to try to explain the relationship between new traits and how it's necessary to move the organization of socio-technical systems, and we can see with you as necessary to move something to go in the future and to go in the agroecological transition. I don't know if it's interesting for geneticians, for new traits, new dynamic traits, maybe. So we'll see that. No?
Integration of the time.
Yeah. So
the
genetic
transition.
progress needs many years,
Yes.
and it's good example of how to move it. Yeah. Thank you very much for each one, and so I think we can have conclusion of the session of the afternoon. I don't know who are making the conclusion. Ricardo, okay, fantastic.
No, so yeah, this is just the conclusion of the course, and we just want to thank you all for coming here. I hope you all enjoyed it and you got what you expected out of it. Some modules were a bit harder for some people than others, but I think it was all more or less what you could expect, what you could have expected from the schedule. And we just want to let you know that the Smarter project is actually finishing in June, so end of June this year, so just over 3 months. And so everything is soon going to be, all the research we did and all the results are soon going to be available. So if you guys want to see more in detail what was done in the project, maybe follow up or contact people for doing further research, you can. Also, all the material of this course is going to be available made available by our great video producing team in a couple of weeks, and they're going to put it on the Smarter website, and that should be 2-3 weeks time. It should everything should be there. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all make it back safely and your flights don't get cancelled randomly, which can happen. And yeah, if you can just give a round of applause to everyone here, all the presenters and all the students. And
we have to thank, well, of course, you being here, and all the teachers. Not all of them are here, but then, as I said at the beginning, a big thanks to this guy here, because he did a lot, more than a lot of work for organizing that. And the lady over there, she's shy, who did a lot of work. So again, I hope you enjoy it, and for that we thought to prolong it until the next week. No,
yeah, no, it's done.
That's something else.
It's done.
So thank you, and yeah. And really, thanks a lot for being here. Hopefully it was helpful for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on, one final applause for everyone.
Okay.